and this is what I wanted to talk to you about in this particular session, was you and I and others who have fought and stood up to religious intolerance are finding ourselves confronted with an ideology that has no God, no church. It's not an established religion. It's not external. It's not coming from outside. It's coming from inside. And I'm confused. And I just wanted to talk to you and say, Sam, what the hell is going on?
Huh. Well, it's again, it's amazing to witness, and yeah, it's not a proper religion, but it has many of the qualities of a religion. John McWhorter, the linguist from Columbia, is calling wokeness and leftist identity politics the new religion of anti-racism, and it's obviously it extends beyond concerns about race. There are other issues here like trans rights and equality between the sexes. The Me Too movement is kind of wrapped up in here, but there's a convergence of political concerns on the left, which does have this quality of a religious or pseudo-religious awakening. I tend to call it a cult more than a religion, but it is it's not especially concerned with getting its facts straight, right? It doesn't want to make honest contact with data. In the case of something like police violence, right? And just what's the ground truth? How many people do the police kill every year in the U.S. and who do they kill? And what are the skin colors of all concerned? Both the cops and the victims. There's data on all of this, and the data don't tell the woke story, which is now an article of faith, which is that there's an epidemic of racist cops who are killing young black men, due to their racist hatred of young black men. Right? That is just not what is happening
Right.
on our streets. And yet, if you ask most readers of the New York Times, they think that's what's happening. So that's an enormous problem of misinformation and disinformation and a cynical, bad faith stance with respect to honest conversation about facts such as we can come to know them. And it's dangerous, it's divisive, and it's leading to a kind of callousness with respect to the destruction that is meted out to people's reputations, especially online, especially on social media,
Yeah.
where there's a thirst for blood, essentially, right? I mean, people want to see others castigated and hurled from the ramparts of Twitter or Facebook. They want to see reputations destroyed. They want to see people fired. They want to see books unpublished. There's just a positive hunger for this, and it is a kind of moral panic. It's a mass hysteria that's somewhat analogous to the I don't know if you would have noticed it. I don't know that it happened in Europe in the way that it did in America, but back in I guess it was the 80s, maybe it bled into the 90s, there was a hysteria around imagined satanic cult abuse in the U.S., right? I mean, people thought that there were thousands upon thousands of satanic cults where humans were being sacrificed. There were babies being sacrificed, and this was there were books written about this, and there were preschools that were accused of this, and people went to prison, and as far as we can tell, this just never happened. Right now, it's not I'm not saying racism doesn't exist. I'm not saying there are no racist cops. I'm not saying that there's never an instance where this imagined evil is in fact real, but it's not happening the way the left is alleging, and that's a real problem.